The world has taught us that you should remain humble. Don't put your head too high because eventually someone's going to come and cut it off. You know who's going to cut it off? Welcome to the Hunter's Holiday Podcast. We're sitting here in Florianopolis, and I want to go ahead and break a couple of things down to you based off of that which I've been thinking lately. The meek will not inherit shit. We have been lied to, everybody. You have been lied to, your friends have been lied to, and who lied to you were your friends and yourself. Very often, we try to have this humble mentality because the way that we perceive humbleness is the ability to connect with those who we see or deem to be like us. Often, everybody wants to move up the ladder. It's like the platform, the movie. Everybody wants to be on a higher level, but we're trying so hard to fit in with people on the same tier as us. You see how dumb that is? Why not begin to speak and behave in a way that aligns with the people who you're trying to get on the platform with, not the people that you're on the platform with currently? Because at some point, the people that you're currently on the platform with are going to hate you. We hate upwards. We don't hate down. As of right now, in the place where I stand, Obama doesn't hate me. Michael Jordan doesn't hate me. Muhammad Ali doesn't hate me. They don't even know I exist. You know who hates me? People who see me and then become jealous, envious because of that which I do, the life that I live, the way that I look, and the women that I date. They are the people who hate me because we hate upwards. So if you want to get to a place of a higher standing, you need to begin to think in alignment with the place where you want to be. Don't think in alignment with the people who you don't want to be with anymore. It doesn't make any sense. But the world has taught us that you should remain humble. Don't put your head too high because eventually someone's going to come and cut it off. You know who's going to cut it off? The people who want you to be on the same level as them, not the people that are above you. They're actually going to appreciate the fact that you think higher and that you speak higher. Look at Michael Jackson. What do we call him? What does he call himself? I am the king of pop. What does Elvis call himself? The king of rock. What does Michael Jordan call himself? The king of the sport. LeBron, I am the king. They're not walking around here saying, oh, I'm just an average old dancer person, nothing too special. But that's how most people talk. Talk to people. Talk to most people in the world. They walk around with a meekness that is almost distasteful to somebody who is beginning to realize that if you want to remain meek, continue to speak in a meek manner. But if you want to take yourself to a higher level, you need to speak in such. And somebody's going to listen to this and go, oh, that makes me uncomfortable. Of course it makes you uncomfortable because there's a part of you deep inside that resists being average. And when you hear somebody who speaks as though they are no longer average, only invigorates that part of you that could be greater, but you're so afraid of tapping into that you have pushed that person down so deep into the belly of your shadow that now they speak whispers of hatred into your earlobe. And that's what makes you uncomfortable. Not me speaking greatness into myself, but it's that voice that you hear that's asking you, why aren't you better? Hate up. We don't hate down. This is the Hunter's Holiday Podcast. Maybe you might be thinking, what does this have to do with wellness? What does this have to do? Wellness is weakness. Wellness is weakness. Wellness is weakness. But we're not preaching wellness. We're preaching fortification to build yourself better, to build yourself stronger. I told my girl today I want 10 children. Why? Because there's so many people that have so many children and they're weak. They're begging. They need. Steve Harvey once said, the best way to help a poor person is not to be one. You cannot help somebody if you need help yourself. Right here, if you can figure out how to get control of it and have it work alongside you rather than against you, fuck. How much you can create is godly. It's godly how much you can build, how much you can create, how much you can manifest if you have this working alongside you. So many people have been taught to have it work against them. And you might say, why is it that I've been told to live in a depressed state? Why have I been told to live in a meek existence? It's because it's easier to make you a slave. If I tell you that you're so irrelevant and that you're so useless and weak that the only way that you can have any type of self-respect is by buying my luxury clothing item, well, then you're going to buy my luxury clothing item and I'm going to continue to be great and you're going to continue to be a waste. That's the system. Ta-da, that's the magic trick. That's what happened. That's why you feel bad. That's why you feel depressed. That's why they have the algorithm continually pumping you with overstimulated bullshit that continues to drop your dopamine levels. That's why they have us inside under these fluorescent lights so that you don't have a higher level of exuberance for your existence, because you're inside of a cubicle working a job that you don't like for people that you don't like, so that you can take home enough money to pay for a house that you don't like, so that you can likely have sex. Hopefully you can have sex with somebody who you kind of like. The shitty existence. I won't be mad if you just hate me, because this is the Hunter Tally podcast, and we're building back better, not just for me, but for you. Because something I've been thinking recently is that so above is so below. I am one fragmentation of the greater consciousness of man, you know? And so if there is a piece of the consciousness that is breaking free of the shackles of despair and allowing for himself to live in his own greatness, well, that's one piece of the greater consciousness that is able to break free of despair and live in its own greatness. And that means that that can potentially affect the next thread and the next thread. And then one corner of the quilt of existence of the human consciousness has begun to live inside of its great. And you can get a little fragment of that, which will spread, hopefully, to the rest of us. And if that is the case, who knows what we can create? Tapping in. This is the Hunter Tally podcast.